What if the reason your decisions keep leading to confusion, your peace feels unstable, and your progress feels slower than it should, isn't because you lack wisdom, but because something foundational is missing? What if God has already given direction, already made the path clear, but the power to walk it depends on one principle most people misunderstand? Today, we're uncovering a truth from Proverbs that quietly governs every wise life, and without it, even good intentions lead to costly outcomes. Stay with me, because near the end I'll share a verse many believers know, but almost no one applies correctly, and it explains why some people grow wiser over time, while others repeat the same mistakes for years. Let's begin with Scripture. Chapter 1. The Foundation of Wisdom. Proverbs 9:10 says, "The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding." That verse sounds familiar, but don't rush past it. Notice what Scripture doesn't say. It doesn't say wisdom begins with intelligence. It doesn't begin with experience. It doesn't begin with learning more. It begins with fear of the Lord. Which raises a critical question most people never stop to ask. What happens when wisdom is built on anything else? Because if the foundation is wrong, everything built on it becomes unstable. And Proverbs warns us what that instability looks like, but we'll get there. Chapter 2. Why reverence protects you before you even know you need it. Many people pray for guidance after damage is done, but Proverbs reveals something unsettling. Wisdom often works before danger appears. Proverbs 14:27 says, "The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, turning a person from the snares of death." Notice the word snares. Snares are traps you don't see coming, which means many painful consequences aren't accidents. They're avoided by those who walk with reverence. So here's the tension. If the fear of the Lord protects, what happens when it's missing? Let's make this real. Chapter 3. Real-life example. Confidence without reverence. Imagine someone named Richard. He's capable, skilled, confident. He believes in God, but rarely slows down to seek Him. When opportunities arise, Richard moves fast. When pressure comes, he relies on instinct. When success happens, he assumes God approves. But over time, something strange happens. His life becomes louder, but not clearer, but not wiser. Successful, yet increasingly strained. Meanwhile, Nathaniel, less gifted but more reverent, moves slowly, prays longer, listens more, and slowly his life becomes steadier. The difference wasn't talent. It was who they allowed to lead. Proverbs 16:6 tells us, "Through the fear of the Lord, evil is avoided." Avoided, not repaired. And this reveals something most people miss. Chapter 4. The fear of the Lord exposes what knowledge can't. Here's where many believers get uncomfortable. You can know Scripture, quote Scripture, even teach Scripture, and still lack the fear of the Lord. Proverbs 8:13. To fear the Lord is to hate evil. I hate pride and arrogance, evil behavior and perverse speech. That means reverence doesn't just change behavior, it confronts the heart. It challenges pride before it speaks. It checks arrogance before it grows. It corrects direction before damage begins. And here's the hard truth. When reverence is absent, knowledge often feeds pride, which brings us to a sobering reality. Chapter 5. When God is acknowledged, but not honored. Picture a Grace who prays regularly. She attends church, she serves faithfully, she speaks confidently about faith. But when decisions arise, fear not, reverence leads. She rushes instead of waiting, defends pride instead of receiving correction, asks God to bless decisions already made. And slowly, frustration grows. Proverbs 1:7 explains why. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. Instruction is rejected when humility is missing. And this leads to something unexpected, something many never connect. Chapter 6. Why stillness is proof of reverence. Most people think faith means movement, but Proverbs reveals something deeper. Proverbs 19:23 says, "The fear of the Lord leads to life. Then one rests content, untouched by trouble." Rest doesn't come from control. It comes from trust. Those who fear the Lord don't rush outcomes. They don't force doors. They don't panic when answers are delayed. They wait because reverence teaches patience. And now, here is the truth I promised earlier. The verse many know, but few live by. Why the fear of the Lord changes everything. Proverbs 3:5-6 says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight." This is why the fear of the Lord changes everything. Because wisdom doesn't begin with knowing more, it begins with yielding more. When God is honored above logic, above emotion, above confidence, confusion loses its grip. Peace settles in. Direction becomes clear. Now I want to ask you one question. Who truly leads your decisions, your understanding, or your reverence for God? I'd love to know your comments. If this message stirred something in you, don't keep it to yourself. Like this video so it reaches others. Share it with someone seeking wisdom. Subscribe to Wisdom Thought for more Proverbs insight. May the Lord guide your steps, steady your heart, and deepen your reverence. Stay wise, stay humble, and stay blessed.